everyone, and welcome to my review/reaction to Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 7, The Pyramid at the End of the World, and I really enjoyed this one. First things first, I felt that the episode didn't really dive too much more into the monks as monsters. We didn't really get to learn much about them, and I feel like this was the episode where we needed to learn more about them. I'm slightly worried that next week's we won't, and they'll just remain possibly just a mysterious threat, and maybe they should be like that, who knows. But I thought the monks were very creepy. You understand their plan. I think understanding it in context with the previous week and with next week, it is interesting. Does it all line up? No, it doesn't. I feel like the script editor who was interviewed recently, wasn't he? I saw him interviewed for something. The script editor is so good that the President of the United States changes between episodes. Yeah, well done, guys. Yeah, and I'm sure someone's going to say, oh, but it's a simulation, but then that defeats the point of the simulation if it's wrong. Yeah, so, bit bizarre, and it was something that sort of just threw me, really, because it was explicitly clear that the President of the United States was, well, presumably a fictional character in last week's episode, but oh well. Speaking of nitpicks, I felt like the end where Bill decides that the monks can restore the Doctor's sight, it was a bit of a leap, especially because we don't know anything about the monks, and arguably that could be why. But no, it felt like a really rushed moment, and I feel like that was a bit of a shame. Because, you know, it's such a huge moment. The Doctor gets his sight back, the world falls, but it's done so quickly that I just wish they could have spent more time with Bill's decision making. But then again, there's a countdown, and the countdown doesn't seem... oh no, it's all a bit... it didn't entirely work as well as it perhaps could have done. I also think that while it was interesting having the Russian, American and Chinese armies sort of in one place trying to investigate this pyramid, yeah, the representatives were characterless, basically. All of the discussion scenes in the second act, so clunky, so characterless. You know, it was just, this is my opinion, this is my opinion, this is my opinion. And it just, it got a bit boring after a while. The story just took so long to not really progress, and there was so much of everyone going, oh, well, why should we be listening to the Doctor? You know, not even human. And it's like, well, why appoint him as President of the World then? Yeah, the President of the World is still a thing. It's bizarre. I still don't understand why that's a thing. I guess it kind of makes sense, but it kind of doesn't. It's a bit... whatever. I thought, though, on the positive side of things, definitely, the CGI... I'm presuming it was the pyramid with CGI with a mix of sort of practical effects. Looked amazing. It looked absolutely incredible. All the location work, the whole episode, it looked fantastic. Yeah, I can't fault the visuals of it. It really did look amazing. But, you know, we have the pyramid stuff interconnected with this lab, and a lot of people have said it's very clunky, and it is, but it's almost intentionally clunky. It's meant to be two separate stories that come together because they are so separate that that's all part of the monk's plan. Bit X-Files, maybe, with the weird sort of gas thing that they produce. And also it ends with Nardole having collapsed, but the next episode looks like it's ignoring that. Will it not? I don't know. See what's going on. I feel like the way the episode ended was a little bit bizarre. I was kind of expecting, especially with the Next Time trailer, we don't get introduced to this new alternate world. We get introduced to it in the next episode, and I feel like that was a bit bizarre. It was sort of a bit of a shock to go from oh no, the world's fallen to. Next week, everything goes weird. I feel like could have done with perhaps like a little bit at the end with Bill waking up in this new alternate world, maybe. I don't know, it depends on how next week starts, I guess. I think that's a really cool idea, though, doing this alternate monk-dominated world. Yeah, you know, the episode works really well for the most part. Sort of the whole enzyme thing, the episode didn't really do much with that. It was just, this is what's going to destroy the world. Okay. I wasn't a huge fan of it. But oh well, the whole doomsday clock thing, I didn't completely understand it. But no, it was a really interesting idea. I mean, the episode was just filled with interesting ideas. It was kind of building on themes and ideas as opposed to a particularly strong narrative or characters. And that's probably the ultimate downfall of the episode. But yeah, overall, I mean, Peter Capaldi, Matt Lucas, Pearl Mackie, all great. Great stuff in there, great visuals, a great actual story to it. It could have done with some slightly less clunky dialogue scenes. That was definitely a problem. And yeah, just the supporting cast were weak, not the actors so much, but the characters. But next week, weird alternate world, Missy's back. I guess we'll see what's going on in the lie of the land. But yeah, overall, I'd give The Pyramid at the End of the World a 7 out of 10. Good episode. Again, though, this is first reaction, so maybe my thoughts will change over time. Maybe next week we'll elevate it, or perhaps do the opposite to the story as a whole. But yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Comment below with your thoughts, and I'll see you all next time.